Maybe are you shy?
Wahala for who don't get hustle. That's the best way to say this. Wahala for who don't get hustle. Like almost everybody hustle is going on for them. Or even some people will say, oh, the word polymath has become something everybody's talking about it. So this is the show. Youth Assembly is the show. Welcome. It's Sylvia Ishibi. So yes, it's an assembly for youths, and today we hustle wahala for Nigerian youths. So the alarming environment in Nigeria, we're looking at that and also provide solutions, hopefully, and give ideas how youths can actually, we're going to be cutting some soaps here. So, cut soap for every youth within Nigeria. All of us join now.
I can't wait.
Yes, we can. Yeah, and we promise you that some soap will get to you. All right, so from my right hand side, I have Mary now. She's into so many things, like you put it earlier. Mary, tell us by yourself.
Like she said, I bake, I sell perfumes. Also a forex trader, you can't just have one hustle.
It's your time now.
Basically, that's what I do.
Okay, Mr. Agape, Simon is a pharmacist. All right, this is your pharmacy. Is it your own, or you're working with some? Yes, and I know you do so many things. Other side hustles also.
You can't just depend on one stream of income actually. So we must actually do other businesses like online businesses and actually like
Nice. And by my left hand side, I have Mr. Yinka Solomon. Mr. Yinka Solomon is a brand strategist.
Okay.
Please tell us, so go and brand everybody here for us. Tell us
Okay, I'm good to be here. And digital printing. Of course, we know the world is evolving.
Yeah.
And then if something is actually not beautiful, we would, it will really attract a lot of persons. So that's what I do basically. We bring your ideas, to life, and then we sell your brand to the audience.
Yeah, celebrate to the larger audience. Okay, and then we have. I just seem to call you Aisha, but yes, she is Aisha Tahir, and she is. Tell us about being a chef. How is the hustle so far? And as a young person also.
Yeah, being a chef is actually amazing because you want, you're feeding people, and you're also getting money. So it is actually amazing. Either choose to sell small shops or other stuff like that. Teach people how to cook and also get money. So it's actually very good something. But also gentlemen, because cooking is not just for the ladies, I believe.
Yeah,
So
it's not. True. So, like they say, food is the best way to a man's heart or to.
Yeah.
Now this.
I don't
Both men and women. So everybody, once you want to get them, give them food. But yes, I'm happy that hustle is paying off.
Yeah.
And then finally, I have Mr. Aliyu Ilias. Mr. Aliyu, introduce yourself. What you do by yourself? What is that hustle?
Right, thank you so much. I'm a political economist. As you know, having your PhD is not enough. Money is money, laugh. So I'm a customer experience expert and I also consult in supply chain management. So, and any other thing that brings money. However, I wait to cut soap here today.
Okay, speaking about cutting soap, so the skills the young people can actually get into, engage themselves with, while they wait for that white collar job, will be discussed right here on Youth Assembly, this special edition of Youth Assembly, and so much more. Now, the unemployment rate in Nigeria rose, especially in this quarter. It climbed from 23.1% in 2018 to 27.1% in 2021. And this means there are over 5 million unemployed people. Over 5 million. So I don't know who is on the number and who is not, but youths are has a large percentage of that. Now, in Nigeria, we have people have been categorized as unemployed and some people underemployed. In even there is a what underemployed means, so that people can actually understand it. I'll start with you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. When you talk about unemployment in Nigeria, it's very, very alarming. And I think from start, it's about over 53%. And it's quite challenging because it brings in crime, it brings in it deepens poverty, urban rural migration, and it even reduces the level or GDP of Nigeria as it were. So that is the challenge we are facing. However, you talked about under whereby you are working but you are underpaid. However, 50,000 naira and you are going home with patchy sum of 30,000 naira and you deserve better compared to that. That's in a layman language, that's underemployment.
Some people say, well, when you mention jobs of 150, 450, a million, and people still have the youths where they can't find those jobs. For you, brand strategist,
Okay.
what would you be telling the Nigerian youths at this point when they're looking for jobs or when they are unemployed and looking for that job that will actually suit their skills and their education?
Okay, well, what I would just say basically is as a graduate, right? The world is evolving, like I said earlier. It goes beyond just having a BSc. What is that value that you're bringing to that company? Much more salary. So as you're graduating from school, you need to probably on how to use the computer, how to do digital marketing, because these days in companies they want one person that can do 10. Right. So you don't expect a company to just you have just a BSc and they start paying that huge amount of money. So what are you bringing on the table? What are you because these days when they're not asking you what to study in school, they're asking you what can you bring on the table? How much can you bring into this company? So young people need to begin to learn skills that can from their colleagues and from their peers. But these days, you just see young persons just finish school and they serve and that's all. You don't expect to. So because I have friends who win that kind of big salary, but when they give you their resume, they've gone through a lot. They've done a whole lot of internship with companies, with NGOs. So they've learned a lot of things. They can actually be on a project. They can do a lot of things. So young people need to begin to learn from what they were taught in school. And I think with that, they should be able to find themselves in such opportunities.
Speaking about people in school,
Yeah.
like I spoke with some people, some students who are in school that have side hustles. Some are barbing, some are doing skincare products, all to support because they don't want to stay at home.
Right.
Some of them started when the lockdown happened.
True.
So they don't just want to stay at home without anything, or nobody was going to school that time, would you say the pandemic also revealed the other side of hustles for a lot of youths, and what kinds of hustles were they? You start with the chef.
Yeah.
What did you do during that time, that lockdown period?
Okay, during time, like nobody can go out, and there are a lot of people that are used to eat, so you can do delivery. So basically, if like before the pandemic, a lot of cakes, and after the
People were having parties.
yes, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yes,
So
yes.
they cancelled the order. So what would you do with the cakes that? So the thing is, just be smart enough to be like, okay, I'll just like sell this cake in pieces. Just advertise, and you sell all those cakes. The thing is, like, needs somebody that is smart. For example, what happened there? We didn't just give up. Like, okay, I'm just going to face my loss. Okay, I'm just be smart. For now, like you can buy cakes in pieces. You can buy spaghetti like just one. But then like others, okay, we are going for a wedding, we need like 250 packs. Just introduce something new into your business, and that's just the best way.
How about now that you're doing this business? How is it for you as a young person in that line of work?
Well, for me, actually, I compare going to school and doing business. Yeah, so the only one doing the business. Like I have other people that I've employed that are doing this stuff for me. So I'm just like managing myself. I'll just give them instruction and they will do what I want.
She's the boss.
Oh,
She's the boss.
CEO.
Okay.
Boss lady.
Boss lady. Well, how do you think these are affected? Coming from what she has said, so far, the pandemic happening, so many youths, and the unemployment rates also in Nigeria. Mr. Agape.
Okay, thank you. I think let me start by saying that I actually look at unemployment as a symptom.
Of
You see, when you go to the hospital, for example, to see an expert, the expert will listen to your complaints, and then he's not necessarily interested in all the symptoms you're presenting. He looks for what exactly the cause. So I think even before we delve into talking about probably the solutions, we must check what exactly are the cause or the causes of unemployment generally in
he's a
Nigeria.
pharmacist.
So I think one of the major cause of unemployment currently is the issue of insecurity too. Any nation that cannot, control the issue of insecurity will experience high rate of unemployment. We live in a situation nowadays where people cannot go to farm. A lot of things, you can't do things, as normal, and that in itself is a threat to employment. We can't actually have foreign investors that will just come and invest because once the security is not secure, once the security issue is not, tackled with, you always find that challenge. Foreign investors will not come and invest, and that's how the unemployment issue will keep rising.
So with these limited opportunities that we have currently, because of the factors you've mentioned, even the pandemic playing a huge part of it, and the economy that
And of course, we shouldn't forget that the fact that our population is fast increasing, and there was a theory that was proposed by an economist called Malthus. We call it Malthusian population.
Theory, yes.
And he says something that as population increases geometrically, that means it's increasing 2, 4, 6, 8, and then our productivity is the population will outgrow its productivity and then or productivity level, thereby causing a lot of unemployment.
But that could be amounted to lack of good leadership and plan.
Yes.
Because they saw it coming. So what are you doing to it? And that's what we need to look at critically. Because as population is moving, people are planning. That's why we have economies. That's why we have national planning. That's why we have budgetary. That's why we have all these positions. So they are supposed to work towards this. Nigeria will take over the largest population. We need to look at and work towards that. Are we controlling it? Do you want to allow it to go? And what are the skills we have to develop in the youth that will be more? If you look at it arithmetically, we will have in the next 30 years there will be less youth, and there will be old age. Looking at that, because
in the next 30 years,
yes, please. What I'm trying to say is that we are about 35, 40, 25. So add 30 years to it, and what will happen? This will be older, and perhaps. How many of us want to have 7 children here? Who want to have 7 here? Please tell me. Perhaps you will love it because pharmacist. So we have to plan. So that's why planning is very, very key. So we have to still hold these as leaders to do more in terms of planning. There was time it's a naira, in fact, naira value more than dollar, right? So what have they planned before we now have 520 naira to dollar? So it's lack of planning.
All right, we'll get to all of that, the solution to it. But before then, to the woman with that has so many hustles, what options do the youths of Nigeria have now in order to diversify and explore and get their hustles on before the white collar job comes?
For me, I actually don't believe the white collar job. I just went to school to have the certificate, of course, to learn. But then I want to be my own boss. I want to have my own income. I want to, I want to do a lot of things without people. When you work with people, they actually limit. Your growth. You can't actually compare when I'm working with someone and then I'm working for my own company,
Okay.
I would actually have a very bigger dream for my own company and actually not that. Like he said, everything is going digital right now. I read computer science, so I'm IT inclined.
Mm.
So basically, everything I do is related to IT, and I can tell you there's money in tech.
True.
There's money.
There's money in
There's
tech.
there's money in tech.
Also for
I'm waiting though. I want
I
to watch
literally see
digital.
people working remotely. They don't have to go to their office, and they are earning over $2,000.
Right.
Yes,
Right.
more than that.
Right.
More than exactly
Yeah, of
more
course.
than that. Then I'll come work in the company and I get 100,000 naira with the headaches and all those kind of things. But then I would just advise the Nigerian youths to not stick to one thing. Learn a skill. Be broad, basically.
be a
broad.
polymath.
Yes, exactly. You can. And then
That's the new word.
That's the new I'm telling you. Okay.
just
Go on.
find what you love
Yeah.
and build it. Like she said, she's a chef. Probably she loves food and then she loves cooking. And then it's making money. She's making money from it. So basically, that's all I'll just say.
You said something like you want to be your own boss.
Yes.
Do you think it's possible for everyone to say I want to be my own boss and then
Okay, take it from there. So for those people who don't have that entrepreneurial spirit in them, that still wants to, be under the employment of somebody or a company.
Yeah.
Yeah. What can they also do to still? We are Nigeria.
Well, they don't have that
last.
passion. See, so I don't think they'll
that
do
hustling
anything.
spirit.
They don't have the passion.
Well, there are people who work on the.
Apart from that, it's not necessary that you be there 247 to
Okay.
work. Your money can as well work for you.
How
And that's why we have to look at a lot of things that we are doing. It's not necessary that you be there 247 to manage your business. You can perhaps invest your 10,000 or 20,000 and also get something in the long run. So there's a lot of things you can do. So it's not necessarily that you say you don't want to work. I would advise us to still work, get experience, then come out and do something.
True.
It's not everyone that will say I want to be on my. So it's not the same thing for every person. I have never worked before, but I hope to still work at a particular level. No, it didn't have more knowledge. So that when it comes out, the got and the million comes.
No.
So that is it.
So pharmacy, the boys have your course.
Of course. When you check how the world has evolved, from the Stone Age to the Industrial Age, where industries was actually like the key thing. Once you work in an industry, at least your boss and all of that, to an information age, probably that we are now in, to a connection age where indeed you, just like my sister said, you can just sit down in your house comfortably, but then you connect with people that will online business like we established.
Right.
But then I still want to emphasize on, we've talked about, skills acquisition, like your ability to invest and be more valuable to the society. You see, we live in a world where, the more valuable coming to a society. So it's not possible to ignore someone that is very valuable. So you must find a system of investing in yourself. Even if the federal government cannot or set up platforms to equip, the young people, you can as well go for programs that will empower you and make you more valuable to the society. And we must also check the fact that, just like I said, the world has evolved, that we must have leaders that are visionary. Of course, where there's a place that says where there's no vision, the people themselves perish. So we must have leaders that are visionary, leaders that thinks of the next generation. Someone was making a statement, says, unfortunately, we don't have leaders. We only have politicians. And the difference is simple. That politicians think of the next election, while leaders think of the next generation.
Right.
Wow.
So it's so powerful that we must actually begin to think of, what exactly do we need to live for our generation? What the leaders must also think of is, what can we leave for the next generation? Not necessarily, the next election. We are thinking of how we can win our next election.
Right. And to solve this problem, really, we have to start from our education.
Yeah.
Our education is quite not as it's supposed to be. Now, let me tell you, we are not producing skilled people. We only produce people that have the certification. Right. We are able to introduce what we call entrepreneurship in our program. How has it translated to a lot of things? Now the education has to be worked on. Now some people study business admin in school. You study pure business admin. Is it attached to any business? You understand? I studied economics in my first degree. As an economist, I could not even do EVU myself during my what's the name? My project. Now they are now changing it to computer economics. So imagine if in my year one I started studying computer economics. By the time I graduated, we know how to develop a lot of app, EView, do review, regression, a lot of things that will bring money for me. Also, somebody who studied physics, he will end up being a teacher. But someone who studied physics electronics will start solving problems right from the beginning. So we have to tailor and channel all our education to reflect what we want to be. Like you are a computer scientist now. If I ask you, can you develop any app when you are in school? No. Do you know about Cisco? Do you know about JavaScript? What can you develop? So now, when you are in year one, they're supposed to start teaching you code, all these things. So by the time you are even year two, you are making money already. So they have to translate that.
I think I like the idea. That means we have to go back and redefine our
education.
Educational.
Yes, go to Ghana, go to other school around. You see what they are doing. So before you are in year three, even companies is waiting for you. That Mr. ADC, when you graduated, please come and work in our company because we can see that you understand code.
It boils down to making the youths employable. So we had that phrase, oh, Nigerian youths are unemployable.
They didn't prepare us to be employable. Yes.
and all that. When you hear that, how does that make you feel? And how can youths? This is a brand strategist.
There's an entrepreneur.
Personal branding and
he's making money.
Also for us, and tell us how youths can become employable, so that all this phrase and sentences of Nigerians are unemployable will just be
okay. I think I can really I buy the point of what my colleagues have actually been saying. Now, if as we all know that our educational syllabus is actually old, it is a cake. If you go to our universities, what they taught them in 1979 is what they are still telling them now. Maybe they say the map of Nigeria about maybe some years ago is. I'm sure we've grown. So
you mean our map has changed?
No, I'm still. They're still telling them what the map was.
You need to learn that time. Theory, Aristotle. You still learning how fire came.
And what has changed. So, but I think if the school doesn't want to really help you, you need to really help yourself. You have YouTube. You can learn. You can go to a school on YouTube. You can learn anything you want to do on YouTube, on Google. Just get yourself ready. Because truly, when you go for interview, they'll tell you that you're not competent. They can employ you because you don't have the right skills that can actually, get to employ you. So help yourself, invest in yourself, learn a lot of things, read books, and then diversify. Because I studied microbiology doesn't mean that I should just be a microbiologist. I should be able to also have an idea in some area. Like I said, I should be able to, I should do well on the computer. I could also have a niche in economics. I have a little niche in maybe project management. So you should help yourself because the school will just go there and then teach you what they teach you, write exams, pass, and then you're out. They don't care about they don't really do a follow up. Like you said, in some countries like Rwanda, they take their time to train their students. They make them ready. They make them ready for jobs, and then schools companies go to those schools to actually fetch them. And then even in Nigeria, some private universities whereby companies actually go to employ them when they are doing their convocation or their graduation, and then they employ them. But it's not really. This only happens in some of our government schools. So I think as a student or you're about to leave school, you need to just get yourself ready and then.
Okay, so there was a time where in camps, when you're in youth NYC camps, the banks and all, they come to source for people to employ youth corpers, and then they now retain you, and then you get a job. But we'll get into that after this. To all of you who have joined us online on our YouTube, Facebook, thank you for joining us today on the Hustle That Pays. All right, we're talking about youths and hustle wahala for Nigeria. For Nigerian youth and the alarming rate of youth unemployment in Nigeria. And we have comments already. We have comments from Ioma KJ. Thank you for your comments. She said, too many people chasing future. Wahala, but we don't get job. Yinka Solomon says, that is responsible for the alarming rate of unemployment in Nigeria starts from home. society in which we found ourselves, and the government. That's what he said.
That's threesome.
Yes, three. And L.A. Jacinta says lack of job opportunity. Don't wait for the government. Everyone gets to. Online Casanova went on again to say, what I mean, I'm home is some parents don't even bother to encourage their children in entrepreneurial skills. Online Casanova for that comment. What do we say?
And I want us to prepare. One way there is unemployment, it's going to hit us the more. We only have to prepare. Don't wait for that page off. Google is coming up with something. It's Google University, whereby within 6 months you'll be trained and you'll be equivalent to somebody who have 4 or 5 years degree. Google is coming up very soon, and that's going to make a lot of people irrelevant. So that I studied this, and you know they are always coming with practical. As you are studying online, they are attaching you to a particular company, and you are getting the knowledge. And when you come out with something. And companies are waiting because they know it's ready to use knowledge. So we have to do more, equip ourselves, and get deep in whatever we are learning. I must tell you, if you study biology, you can make money in biology. Anything you study, but you need to relate it to business. So
break
you need
it
business
down
knowledge.
for us. When you say make money in biology,
Thank
somebody
you.
might not say,
If
I
you
don't
study
know.
biology, if you study chemistry, study anything in university, you can still make money.
How?
So you need a commercial knowledge. That's what you need to need. So commercialization of that idea is what you need.
So how do
That's
you
why I say if you are studying
commercialize the knowledge?
business admin in university,
Yes.
you can attach it to business in aviation, business in cocoa selling,
Oh.
business in pharmacy. You know, a lot of things revolve around. So whatever you study, you need to relate it with something that will fetch you money.
But for me, actually, I
Right.
think the upcoming Google University is
Yes.
going to make a lot of Nigerian youths very lazy.
That's where we are coming now.
That is actually like not advisable.
But Aisha, can we
Every
stop them?
Yes, we
Can
can.
we
We
stop
cannot.
Google?
We
We
cannot.
can't stop them. It's a global world, and we are into globalization. So we should
But I
prepare
think the
ourselves.
Nigerian government can do something for us, like not accepting that qualification.
I actually disagree.
Yes.
Right.
Reasons why would I go to a university that I would waste literally maybe 4 years of my life or my time to get a certificate of old knowledge?
Yeah.
I studied computer science,
Yes.
and I could tell you in school the programming courses they were teaching me, I cannot make use of it. They're teaching me Pascal.
Yeah.
I cannot code in Pascal now.
Do they even give you computer to see?
No, you don't sit.
You are lucky. You don't see.
You don't even go to the lab.
You don't even go
You don't even go to the
so-
computer lab to go for practicals. You're on your own. You just do everything.
Yeah.
But that's it. But then I can actually get a certificate for six months or
Yeah.
3
3
months,
months.
and it's relevant. And I actually practicalize what I actually the theory. Yes, I actually studied. So I think it's actually really better.
You are not with me. There's what is called SAP. You know SAP? SAP as a software,
As
Yeah.
software. Yeah.
enterprise resource planning,
Yeah.
is most expensive to study, and maybe you spend like 2 million naira. But I assure you, if you study today, it's about 3 months, you'll get job the next day. Yes,
Actually-
SAP.
I actually disagree with such because, for example, when the pandemic was really coming at first, Nile University and Base University did not go on break. We were actually doing online classes, but when it came to exams, we were actually invigilated. But let me tell you the truth, not all of us did not cheat because like 90% of students cheated. So what Nile did not actually do anything about it, right? But Base University cancelled the whole exams. Students will have to come back and write exams in school. So tell me, like, I've written exams, I've cheated, I've done what I want and I've passed and I was given the certificate. Am I even qualified for any job? I'm not.
Okay, let me now ask
The
Aisha.
issue- the issue
Okay,
is-
let's hear from
Okay, right.
Everything that has advantage
Has
also have
disadvantage.
disadvantage.
Right.
Yes.
You know, I always like telling people one thing, like, you know, gun, as powerful as it is, when it's in the hand of an army, probably good for you. But once it's in the hand of an armed robber, bad for you. So
Yeah.
it all depends on the mentality.
Yeah.
It depends on actually the person using it. So that means you can use Google, you can use online all this program to empower yourself, and you can use it as well to destroy yourself. So it all depends on the philosophy that you carry that reflects ultimately what you do or what you don't do.
Okay, talking about philosophy, values, and all. Somebody sent in a comment and talked about families. Families teaching their children those values and the skills they need to face the job market? What do you make? What should parents be teaching the children? This is a season where a lot of students are at home, waiting for the long holiday, summer holiday, till September. What should they be learning to empower themselves before they go back to school?
Okay, thank you. I think every society is largely a reflection of, whether individual or as a society, we are largely product of how we think. That's our philosophy. Now, and I think families, community has a great role to play in sharpening someone's mentality or philosophy. For example, from home, we are trained to go to school. Like I read a book, The Rich Dad, The Poor Dad. In that book, he was just telling a story of how his dad would tell him, go to school, just read, graduate, get a high-paying job, and that is just it. While the other dad is telling him how to dig into himself, to bring ideas, to see all the potentials within him, to see what he can do, what he can offer. And like the president of America once said, John F. Kennedy, he actually on his inauguration day, he said, he was addressing the people, he said, do not first of all think of what your country will do for you, but think first of what you can do for your country. So what a mentality. Once we begin to inject such a mentality from home, in the mind of the little students growing, that don't first of all think of employment first, think of yourself as someone that will grow to employ others. I think there will be a paradigm shift in all that is actually happening.
Paradigm shift. Okay. Before you go, this mindset he's talking about. There's also the mindset of I want to make it overnight. Yes, they're unemployed though. This person is currently unemployed. I want it now. I'm 34, I'm 35, I'm 40, and my mates have already made it. So I need to make it sharp. So with that kind of mentality, a lot of youths have in Nigeria. What would you also say to them?
Well, if you okay, Yinka is an entrepreneur, strategist.
We the entrepreneurs, I must tell you that being an entrepreneur is actually one of the most difficult things that can ever happen to you.
Thank you for saying that.
Because it's not magic. It's patient. You have to take time, build a system, build something that works for you. You can't start a business today and you won't start making millions. It's not going to work. Even if you ask the likes of top billionaires, Dangote, they will tell you that they went through the hustle of building a business before they are where they are today. So as a young person, you want to really do business. If you want to make fast money, don't do entrepreneurship because you make fast money. You have to, because you should know that you're not the first person doing it. That people have been doing this for 20 years, and then you're just coming into the industry for 1 year, 2 years, and you want to start driving a car of 10 million. It's not going to work. You have to pay your dues in the industry. So you have to bring in a lot of patience because it will not come overnight. But you also have to be consistent because most persons, you see them today, they are selling a car, tomorrow they are doing something else. You cannot be an entrepreneur. Fine, it's good to mustache, but people need to know you for, okay, I'm into this. Like I know this man since I met him, that's what I've been doing. But these days we want to make money. Okay, my friend is selling clothes, let me go and sell clothes. And then you discover you don't know what idea she's bringing into making money from that clothes that she's selling. So we need to really take our time. A lot of things. There are days that people don't even have a couple in their hand, but that's because of the passion you have. It drives you, keeps you going. So you have to be patient. There's no magic in making money when you're an entrepreneur. There are days it will come, but just try and make sure you delay that gratification. When you come, you'll see that you've arrived, and then you can now start drive all the cars.
Mr. Yinka is for delayed gratification.
Which is practically difficult for most people now. But we must just give ourselves that consciousness, with conscious optimism as well, that we should be careful. Anything that is glitter, we have to be careful. Thank you for that. And also, most people now have now soiled their hands into a lot of
in the name of cutting soap.
In the name of cutting soap. And you can see what's happening. See what is happening now.
Yes, sir.
You see, everybody have seen what is happening now. I have money. See my car, see my Versace. Last, it's cooling somewhere, and we don't know even what happened in the long run. And it even attaches other people that he understands. So we have to look at that. And apart from that, we need to look at family business in Nigeria. We have to change our orientation. And every family should look at small thing they can be doing. I tell you, if you start small thing, next 10 years, it will not be the same. Your children can come build on it, build on it, and build on it. If it's poultry farming, start from your back. You understand? Before you know, tell your children this is family business. We're trying to grow it. We move. As a pharmacist, you may like to also have a child that will take over from him. As a computer scientist, she developed an app. Family keeps investing on it. So we must think in that direction. Because even in next
and that's African already. It's part of our culture. People tend to, bring their children.
We are moving away from it. And that's why America is America. Go to America. How many Americans work in American companies? How many of them work in government? They all have family business. It could be restaurants, it could be so we need to start looking at that.
Some families are the Bush family. Politics.
They're known for it. It's not bad. Just do it very well. Hence, money is coming.
Yeah.
Okay, it's good to go and it's legit.
Well, I would also want to add to his point because in America today, you can see companies that have spent for like 100 years. But in Nigeria today, do we have such companies that have spent in the last 100 years?
Maybe First Bank will escape.
But that's the truth. It means that there's been some deviation. We don't really bring in children into what we do. Okay, I can say that things have changed over time. These days, parents are looking forward to their small kids as small as 5 years, getting to learn skills. I can see some adverts around parents, schools, and boot camp. I think it's something that I really I love so much because before because they are saying children of 10, young children, they are doing amazing stuff. You see, the 10-year-old guys already doing
Aisha
stuff and he's making a lot of money. So I think I would give it to our parents. They are really, doing a lot to make sure that their children are actually getting involved and not just getting so less busy, during their days. So that's
for me, I need to advise the Nigerian youth. Please.
Before you get to the advice, we will get to that advice.
Very
but let me take this comment. Then we will we will get to the advice because so many advice as we are cutting soap now. We need to advise. So what for you as a computer scientist, entrepreneur, doing so many things? What are some of those challenges that you have faced? Because when we are saying all these things, it sounds very nice to the ears, but there are challenges also. Even when you become your own boss, when you are into tech like you are, what are those challenges also?
Business-wise, like he said, you have to have a strategy.
Yeah.
You can't just say, when I started, I said, oh, let me start selling perfumes. And then at some point, I got tired because it wasn't moving. But like he said, you actually require patience because if you don't have patience, I don't think any business can actually last because you will just end up giving up on the road. So I would actually say that make your passion, turn your passion or turn what you love into money. I love baking because I love small chops. And I picked interest in it. I picked interest because I don't know how to eat food, but I know how to eat junks. Yeah. And then when I noticed, I started saying, during the pandemic, I started watching.
You're going to give us some things that would,
I started watching videos on YouTube how to bake cakes, how to make samosas.
That was how you learned.
And then after the pandemic, I went into a baking school. Proper. And then again, when I came out, I started doing it consistently. I've been building my customer base, which I hope it expands. So
yes, you say so big hands in the house. Tell us the challenge you also faced as a
challenges are a lot actually, but a few. Maybe now you have a plan. Maybe this month I'm planning to make 150, but then customers are not there. The only thing that will just make me excel is knowing my strategies in the business. Maybe I've done this advert, it did not work, then I'll change, maybe do giveaway. It will bring people.
Buy one, get one. Buy one tray, get two.
A customer expert to come and consult me, and you will turn that to plenty money. Yeah, that's what I do. That's what I do.
A game on social media. Okay, if we play this, maybe you win. Maybe bring your people, 5 people to come and the highest likes will get food. something like that. That's
Yeah.
just like you just have to be strategic about your business. That's
So,
just-
that's something, young people on social media,
Yeah.
and people advertise all those games you're talking about, and they play it just
Yeah.
like that, and somebody wins, and they see it's real.
Yeah.
It's good for business now. So all those strategies people should also
Yeah.
learn digital
And
skills.
everything should be fun.
And that's why
Fun,
Nigerian
yes.
business hardly lasts for 5 years. So I challenge you guys to go beyond 5 years.
Yeah.
You must sustain it.
Challenge
We don't
accepted.
sustain that's the problem. And that's why our MSME is having an issue. People don't sustain that business beyond 5 years. Show me a business person who start and sustain for 5 years among the Nigerian youth. I will celebrate that person.
Okay, we will celebrate a lot of youths here, right here. In 5 years' time, we'll celebrate plenty that we've got so far today. So we have this comment, and I'm going to throw it at you so that you respond. Solomon says there are two types of education: education in class and education on the streets. The education on the streets is the skill one learns to survive, and it's also called side hustle. So the street, let's go streets. Let's go run the streets. So what do you make of the street education now? How does it help in the hustle spirit of Nigerian youths?
Okay, thank you. I think that's just the general language. Like, okay, we want to hustle, and I think I've been with people that have carried this mentality of hustling. I am not against it, where they say, okay, they want to do this, they want to do that, and they end up not doing anything like tangible. I strongly believe in what I call specialized knowledge. Now, specialized knowledge is, a system where you identify something you can do and do it very well. Now, you will see even in the medical field, for example, people are beginning to think of specialized knowledge in such a way that someone will just specialize in only antibiotics or maybe pediatrics and do it well, not necessarily doing many things without necessarily being productive. So I'm not against the hustling of a thing, but then we must turn to a point where we begin to train people that have specialized knowledge in such a way that once you're into baking, I mean, you make sure that you focus on one thing. You focus on something that you can develop and keep improving on it on daily basis. Then in such a way that when they are looking for who will cook for us, I think they will have to check. Oh, my sister,
Because some people with special knowledge, when they're having that meeting, they need the chef, they need bakers to come and bake and bring stuff like food.
Of course,
So
they will not just call anybody that
Yeah.
cooks. Do you understand? They will not just call anybody that cooks and all of that. They will call people that really they know that this one can cook well.
Yeah.
So that means the specialized knowledge covers all aspects.
Right.
That you identify what indeed you can do and do it passionately. You do it like on an improving, like you keep improving on that.
All
I
right.
think
So
that's what
are we sharing? Are we commenting? Are we liking and loving? Please continue to do that and keep the comments coming. We'll take them right here on the show. Okay.
We are different
Yes.
people, right?
Yes, sir.
Some people are, will I say, melancholy,
Yes, sir.
who can only face one thing, like a medical doctor, a pharmacist. But people like Aisha here, they are sanguine. They can manage 5 businesses and it's flourish. So it depends on who is handling this business. We need to understand ourselves as youth. How many things can I actually handle? Do you get? Some people are lawyer and they still do well in business. Some people can only do that law thing and they face that law thing. It's not bad. Last class, if it brings money legitimately. So
Right.
That bounds back to the concept that someone said, do not put all your egg in one basket.
Yeah.
But then, another theory came out that says, no, put all your eggs in one basket and take good care of it.
Let me tell you, it's good to have 5 businesses, but I will agree it's good you put one on top. Let you be known for one.
Okay.
I'm known for customer experience management. People never knew I educate to that level. People never knew I do supply chain. In my office here, I do training. But I decided to put one so that people see me will not see me for everything. So you can as well the one you love most, the one you want people to know you for. You understand? Put it on top. You're a pharmacist. People have known you for pharmacy. What if you have farm in your village? Who will you tell? You won't tell anybody, but you
Only
want
the
to
village people.
only the village people will know. So that's it.
In a nutshell, jack of all trades, master of none. You're not up for
That
this.
theory is always
Okay, Mr. Lion.
Well, for
Yes.
me, it's not bad, but if you're bringing in any other kind of business, it should relate with what you do currently. Because some persons, when they see that you are the one selling akara, you're the one selling clothes. Now when they have a job they want to give you and they want a professional, like he rightly mentioned, they want somebody that can actually do it. So some people feel that this person is doing so many things. I don't think he'll be good in one thing. So make sure that you are specific. You are very good in one thing, and you know that you know it so well. I always advise that if you want to go into a business, make sure you have an idea of that business. Not like, okay, I'm giving you this to do, and then you have to go and start getting people. It's not bad, but you need to have some idea about the business. So make sure that your business, they're actually interwoven, they relate, so that you are still within the same cycle, but not just jumping here and there and there and there. It's good to make money, but the thing is, if you can actually be patient, do that thing, but you will make money.
But will you blame the youth? If I ask you to make
They want to
fast.
Yeah. And it's not possible.
But my clear you also elaborate on what you said. You are saying we should do something related, not that we shouldn't do just one business. I can also do this.
I do tech, which I have to make it now, putting yourself into trouble. So I would just advise find your passion and turn it into money.
All right, for that tech, if somebody wants to learn 6 months, which one would you recommend?
6 months HTML.
Okay,
Yeah.
That's an example. And then go find the rest. She has got some for us. Okay. Pharmacy, Agape.
I think I would call it like a question to the viewers and listeners. If there's something you can do, what exactly would it be?
You know, some people,
So
they ask themselves that question and they can't answer.
of course, it's a question that you keep asking yourself. Not the one-time question where you say, okay, I've asked myself, but you must consistently ask yourself, what exactly? I believe that everyone has a gift that you can, study yourself. What exactly are your passions? You should be able to bring out, like, over time, this is what I'm passionate about. Develop, go for trainings where indeed you develop yourself more, and then sell yourself as well.
All right, go for trainings. That's the song is cutting us today. Okay.
All right, for me, I will talk in general of social media right now. As students, you go and learn how to manage social media accounts. Just like the next big thing right now. You can be a student and make as much as 20,000 every month. Just go online and go and master how to manage social media accounts.
Where did they see this guy?
It's online. It's online. Show me that. So I must tell you the fact. So do how to do all that. If you can do it, you have, because we have thousands of students that are already, they don't have that time to manage their social media account. So if they feel you can do it, give it to you, and they give you on the monthly. You can earn as much as 100K from just one company. So if you have like 10 companies, see what you make. So I would advise that you can do that. Then the second thing I also want to do is you should go learn how to do graphic design. As you can see that people have gone from this black and white thing. People like to see colors. Colors is attractive. Like when I see very beautiful thing, when I see a flyer, okay, like what brought me into this industry, I started seeing nice things on the floor, flyers, I picked them up, and then the passion just came, and I can tell you since I left school, I've not worked for anybody since I left school. So I've been doing this and it's been very good. So learn to do graphic design.
I'm your student on graphic design.
Yeah. So learn to do graphic
People are keen in already.
So do graphic design, you can get jobs even as much as we have things I've ever met in my life. In America, in France. They don't even have to know you. And there are even blogs that you can even get to be getting jobs from. So it's a very big market.
I pay 120,000 naira yearly for graphics.
So you can say that. So
and the person is in Lagos. So I will not tell him do this. 120, that's our agreement for the past 5 years.
So you can see that.
So I want to learn. I'm a student now.
I see.
So that's it. I think with that, and the market is open.
Yeah.
It's market. If you decide not to do market in Nigeria, You get clients anywhere you can get it.
And social media is not leaving us anytime soon.
Man,
Guys,
that's
we're
what
going
we
into
say.
something else.
And let me shock you. During the lockdown, nobody expected the lockdown. We're not doing social media marketing. We're home. Everybody was just home doing nothing.
No.
And we just think, what can we do to keep making money? And then we brought up the idea, okay, let's begin to manage people's accounts. And we got free accounts. And then till now we're still doing it.
Yeah.
So you can see that. So social media is not
That's
leaving us in the
business
next
strategy.
100 years.
Strategist.
All right. So that's it.
Okay.
So let's go with it.
All right, Aisha Tahir, what's up for us?
Well, for me, actually, I feel over 50% of Nigerian youths are depending on their parents. Maybe to say, my dad is a minister today, and yeah, I have a lot of opportunities in the government. I'll just be like, okay, I don't even need to study. I'll just go to school and like know my ways and just get the degree and come out and get a good job. Like honestly, my dad is a minister and he'll get me a big job maybe in NNPC or stuff like that. I want Nigerian youth to remove that thought of dependency like out of their mind, because you have to believe if my dad is somebody, he made it by himself, and I want to make it by myself as well.
Yeah. It's a spirit.
So like just like study yourself. It may not be like cooking or stuff like that. It may just be like public speaking. Maybe you are good at therapy. You can talk to someone and someone will feel good about themselves again and he'll pay you a huge amount of money. It's just about studying yourself, like getting to know what you can do better. Removing the thought of dependency on someone, because life may happen. Maybe you're depending on someone and that person may not be able to do what you want again.
Sure.
And you've not been making like making a lot of stuff about your life. I mean, like you're not even making use of your life. You're not going to school. You're not achieving any skills. You're not even doing anything. You're just depending on somebody else. My monthly allowance, my stuff, everything is being taken care of. You just have to remove that thought of dependency in your head.
Yeah. Remove that thought of dependency. That's what Tahir, Aisha Tahir, chef and student, is saying today. And finally, our
senior.
Mr. Ali. So you've gotten a lot of doctor. Okay. Whatever name we give you, give me pharmacist.
No. See, pharmacist. Well, the fact just to say that I've been listening to everyone here. I think Nigerian youth need to learn how to understand people, volunteer. If it's 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 1 month, but even parents need to think towards that direction. Anytime your children, your words are home, tell them go to so place, go and work for them. You know, by so doing, they start changing their orientation towards learning. So we should learn how to volunteer, not volunteer to get money. Volunteer to equip yourself. Any trade you think you love so much, look at somebody who is doing it. Volunteer for them for free. That would be fantastic. And after that, one thing you need to do in business is one. Do you know it?
Yeah.
Learn logistics. If you're in business, you don't know about logistics. You are not in business. I'm telling you, because logistics makes everything easier. You know why? Thousands of people does what you do.
Yes.
But what makes you different is that logistics and the customer experience.
Yeah.
So combination of customer experience management and logistics. You under promise and over deliver. Do you get that? So by so doing, people will not want to stop doing business with you. So please, we need to have that volunteer and learn about logistics management.
Powerful. I mean, if you have to learn how to even skit making, social media, you see.
Oh yeah, those guys are making a lot of money now.
Oh yes, everybody is a comedian now.
Yeah.
In fact, if I made you laugh today,
money is there. Money is there.
Yeah, money did there.
Money did there.
After some time, you see them, they will show their cards.
And then they came out during the pandemic. Because people
more.
were just home, and then people were just busy with your phone.
Different language, even in your core language, you see people doing that comedy, and they are making money. So we need more ladies in comedy.
Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. To Mr. Yinka Solomon, he is the CEO of the boardroom and also a brand strategist, and Mr. Agape, Pharmacist Agape Simon. Thank you for coming today. Mary Lawal, Forex trader, so many things. He has so many
money in effects.
Everything. Computer scientist also. Thank you for coming today and sharing your wealth of knowledge with us. What would I say to Aisha?
Chief chef.
Yes, chief chef. Thank you for taking our time.
So that means you're living big in school. Big girl.
Yeah, that's the way we work. Everybody wants to be a big girl.
Big girl in
Boy.
school.
Yes, and to you, Dr. Ali Elias, political economist and development expert, thank you for coming today to cut soap for us.
Thank you for having me. I've got a lot of things.
I'm telling you,
I'm going to
I hope you got
use
something. I hope you got something. Go use and bath. And then you tell us your experience after this.
So the duty that will consult them after this session, we'll go out and say, how far?
Right.
Yes. All right. Thank you to my producers, Asma Osani, Lawrence Ajibade, Jacinta Osagi, and Nasir Yunusa, and also our production supervisor, Ehio Hiane. Thank you for your time today. To all of you who sent in your comments, Solomon, Ihoma, the names can go on and on, but you know yourself. Thank you. Thank you for liking. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for even getting angry. You know, there's this emoji where you get angry.
What is this saying?
Yes, what is this one saying? Thank you for doing that for us. Yes, keep sharing and keep liking this video. Remember, you can listen to us 24/7 on www.clickniger.net. Follow us on YouTube. Click Niger. On Instagram, and pages, and we'll be back shortly. My name is Sylvia Ishibi. Bye for now and stay safe. Clap, no, don't try it, Joe.
Nice one, nice
This
one.
hustle was fake.
But still,
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yes, it was a wonderful one. Thank
you want me to continue to dance again?
you. Yes, we will take good photos. So you go there.